Okay, so we are through the first 2 weeks. You have established a healthy habit of tracking. You're doing a good job with that. We should now have a goal protein number that you're trying to reach, and now a caloric ceiling that you're trying to stay under. So how do you map out your meals based off of these numbers? Well, we're going to take some basic numbers here. These are estimations, and we're just going to kind of keep it simple, okay? So let's say your caloric ceiling is 1,500 calories, okay? If you did 3 meals a day, that is 500 calories per meal. Or let's say you like to snack. So let's say you do 3 meals of 400 calories, and that gives you an extra 300 calories to either do as one snack, or you could split that into 2 snacks and it would be 150 calories each, okay? Again, this is all about being practical. Whatever works for you. If you're someone who likes to snack, do the 3 smaller meals with the 2 snacks. I personally usually eat 3 just sort of main meals, and then I'll have like I do a protein pudding at night, okay? So that's kind of sort of my snack. It's almost like a dessert that I end up giving myself. Anyways, do what works for you. So let's just do the 3 meals a day. So we've got 1,500 calorie total, 500 calories per meal. Now, let's say your goal is to hit 120 grams of protein each day. For 3 meals, we're looking at 40 grams of protein per meal. 40 grams of protein is equal to 160 calories. 500 calories minus 160, it leaves us with 340 calories. So your meal should consist of a range, and this is how you're going to kind of do this, is a little bit of a range. So if exactly spread out over 3 meals is 40 calories or 40 grams of protein, then you probably have a range of about anywhere from 35 to 45 grams of protein per meal. You don't want to have it be quite so far. Ideally, we're talking 38 to 42 grams, and you'll see why at the end here. So breakfast and lunch, somewhere in that 38 to 42 gram range of protein. And then you fill out the rest of your meal with whatever you're feeling like. If you want some more carbohydrates, the rest of your calories, again, 340 left over per meal, would go towards carbohydrates. If you're maybe having, craving for something more fatty, then you would put more of those calories towards fat, okay? At the end of the day, your last meal, let's say you have somehow exactly 500 calories left, but let's say you overate on protein earlier in the day. That last meal, you're just going to adjust your protein down to hit that 120. Let's say you overate some of your prior meals, not by a ton, maybe 50 calories here or there. So that final meal, you adjust based off of what you've had earlier in the day, and boom, now you can kind of tinker with that. And again, going back to those single ingredient foods and prepping foods, not meals, this is where having that set up in that way allows you to tinker with each meal so that you can get the exact numbers that you need. If you have a pre-existing meal mapped out and it doesn't somehow fit with your day because you went off track a little bit earlier, then suddenly now you've got to try and figure something out and it doesn't work. So if you just have those foods prepped individually, you can then put them together and make them hit the numbers that you need to that day. So like I said, end of the day, last meal, maybe you underate your protein. So now you know I actually need to have 45 grams of protein this meal because I had 2 or 3 grams less the prior 2 meals. So instead of my regular 40, I'm going to have 45. And then I have some extra calories as well. So I only ended up eating 400 calories for my lunch, which means I have an extra 100 calories to have for dinner. Awesome. You can choose to have that as a little treat at the end. You can add it to your meal itself. But you just start with these sort of general frameworks. You're going to try and match your meals around 500 calories, around that number of protein. Again, this is my example numbers. Yours will be specific to you. But you just divide those out, and each meal you try and stay within that range, and then the final meal you just make those small adjustments to hit your numbers for the day. Okay? So that is how you map out your day make this manageable, and you're not left at the end of the day with just this like headache of a problem to solve.